Hi, this is Nathan Win from A&A Inomatic. Today I am going to show you a very cool way to display information in a gallery. Now I say cooler, I'm not sure about better. I personally like it a lot. But it is definitely a lot harder. But we're here to learn, right? Let me show you and let me drop you a hint. It's HTML. This gallery here displays a list of issues. We have the issues number, that's the type of issue, status, the aging of this submission is 10 days since submitted, the person who submitted it, as well as the first 75 characters of the description for display. Now you see the tooltip, every time we mouse over, it's nicely laid out and displayed. In the front we have a dot color coded, and this is correlated with the severity. Orange for medium, green for low, and red for high. You can see it is alternate coloring, and if I select one, you can see the selected record change color, and you can see issue 1, 7. Now, if you are to guess the number of controls that I have in this gallery to display all that information, would you believe if I say only one? It's hard to believe, right? But let me prove it to you. I only use one control to display all of this text. If we look at this gallery issues here, it has only 4 controls, and the items come from the collection issues tracker. If we expand this issues tracker collection, it's a table. It has this number of columns and 10 records. I have a couple things here that does the search, but we're gonna ignore it for this video. All we know is it's coming from this collection. We have the separator that I'm not even using. I turned it off in terms of visibility. I just don't want to remove it because in case I need it later on. I have these vertical lines, the left side vertical line with a width of 4 and a blue filling. I will show you why I have it there. And then I have the button. The button is transparent. It has the width and height of the gallery template. If you select on the gallery, you see that I specify the template size to 80, and this 80 indicate the height, right? This transparent button just overlay the entire template. And the reason why I use it, because when you mouse over, it looks like a hand that we can click on. If we turn this visibility off, you see that it's just a mouse cursor. It doesn't really indicating something you can click, because we all know we use gallery. But for me, I like to have the button over better, and it's just a personal preference. I will go ahead and turn the visibility back on. The button on select, I basically acquire the selected record from the gallery, and I set it to selected issues. I went ahead and extract the ID from the record, and then I formulate the text for var form header. It's just concatenation of issues number and the issues ID, and that's what you see up here in this label, var form header. So let's go back to this left vertical line. On visible, if this item ID is equal to var selected issues ID, then I have the visibility true, otherwise false. That's why on a selected item, you see that there's that blue line right there. It's an overkill because I already changed the color of the selected row, but it looks nicer, so I added there. Let's look at the HTML text control. It looks more intimidating than it actually is if we break it down. All HTML has to be in double quote, okay? And then we can break the HTML by closing it and then use our FX code and then start again. We need to use the and sign to concatenate them together. One important factor is that the usual double quote after the equal sign in the styling now has to be single quote. So you can see here, this is the beginning of this styling and it ends right there with a single quote. That's very important. If you have double quote, it will error you out. So here, generally speaking, we would want to declare the font family and size, but we don't have to do this because we want to be consistent with the application, so the font can be whatever it is that your application is using. And I specify this 11.5 here. I don't have to put it in the HTML. So the generic padding, borders, and border radius, so these are the things that to your liking. Now, the only thing that is dynamic is the background color. So you can see here, we close this portion of HTML and then we concatenate with the if statement. If this item ID is equal to the selected issues ID, right? We look at the selected row. Then we go ahead, give this a blue grayish color. Now, if the row is not selected and it is an even row, so we use the mod and I have a column called row count where it's order 1 to 10 or whatever the number is of the gallery. Then if the remainder divisible by 2 is 0, I mean it has to be an
an even number, then we go ahead and give it the grayish color. Otherwise, it's going to be a white background. And so this if statement will return a color value for this background color, and then we continue on with the bottom margin, etc. I go ahead and give it a fixed height of 85 pixel, and you can adjust this so that it best fits your data. We can enable the auto height, though I recommend against it so that we have a consistent look and feel. And you can see here my text has a ... after 75 characters or however long you want it. That way the item in your gallery have a consistent look, and user can get more information once they have selected it. Now the key point here to have is overflow hidden, meaning you want to disable the scroll. Right now in the editing mode, you can see each of these control has a scroll, but once you hit play, this control is gone. That's when the HTML kick in. And then we end the div styling part right there. You see? So that's the first portion to styling the entire template area. Before the next step, let's take a look at this HTML here. We have the width and height of 20 pixel. The border radius is 50%. Give us the rough shape. And then we have the red as background color. If we change to green, it's green now. This go into the base for the severity indicator. You can see here I changed the 20 to 12, but I did remember to change the double quote to single. And then here's the background color, very much similar to how we did it up here. Concatenate the two part of HTML to this if statement in the fx formula. If the severity is high, we return the value of red. If it's medium, we return the orange. Otherwise, it's going to be green. We end the styling with the single quote, and then we close the div right there. Now, if we hit play, we see these color indicators. Now, it's not perfectly round, and we can play around with the width, but for me, it's good enough, and I'm happy with the result. That's it for the severity indicator. The last part of the HTML is on the issue details. Here, this div will take up all the space after the severity indicator. Within this remainder div, we have two columns. The top part is bold text with light blue, and it simply lists out the important information such as issues ID separated by the vertical line, the issues category, defect, suggestion, enhancement or modification, issue status, active, fixed, open, etc. And then we went ahead and did the calculations between the reported dates and today's date. We used the dative function for the calculation, and we just add in the days. Now that's the top part here. On the second part, we set the text to italic. We give it the grayish color, and then we go ahead and start out with the reported by, just 75 character long from the description. And now you see it looks nice, and I'm happy with this. That is all. I hope you guys find this interesting. Thank you for sitting through this video. Looking forward to the next one. Bye bye.